Are you ready to elevate your school spirit? Look no further than onecampusco.com. Whether you're in the classroom, on the field, or cheering from the stands, we're dedicated to bringing academics, athletics, alumni, and fans together. Founded by our alumni-owned parent company, One Chapter in 2021, we recognize the need for quality apparel at reasonable prices and created a shopping experience that connects fans with their university. Join us in showcasing your pride and giving back to your community. With onecampusco.com, you're not just a student, athlete, or fan, you're part of a vibrant family. Together, let's celebrate what makes our university special. Visit us at www.charlotte.onecampusco.com using promo code HWY49 for 10% off.
The man himself, Bryan the Butcher Battle in the house. First off, gotta say congrats and welcome to the show, bro.
Dude, thank you for having me, man. It's like, something good happened if I'm talking to my boy Hunter Bailey, you know what I'm saying? So, last time we were talking, it was after my previous arena performance, you know what I'm saying? That went pretty well. And now we had another one on the opposite end of the spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Last time I was the hometown guy, this time I was the guy coming, the foreign guy coming in. But it was a blast, you know what I'm saying? It was really dope, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you handle business there. I gotta ask you first. So I don't know if I've told you this, but your fight against Gabe Lewis in Charlotte was the first UFC fight that I had ever seen live. And obviously 14 seconds, you handle business. But you came out to Dreams and Nightmares, man. I saw you switch it up in Paris, talk about the switch up and what it was like walking out into that arena where instead of being the hero, it seemed like you were the villain.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was, I knew, because here's the thing, like, I've had so many fights in the Apex, and just from my amateur days, I know what it's like to fight in front of a crowd that's engaged. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you're fighting is like a crazy experience in and of itself. But then when you're fighting and the crowd is really engaged in the fight, it just takes it to a whole nother level. It just takes the experience period to a whole nother level. So, yeah, in Charlotte, it was crazy because, I was like the only hometown guy on the card, you know what I'm saying? And everyone was so amazing. There was so much support. Like, you could just feel it. This time, like you said, I was fighting the French dude in France. You know what I'm saying? And that crowd was prolific. That crowd was just an amazing crowd, period. And so, coming in, I knew I was going to get booed. And so I played into that a little bit. So I think I got some extra boos. And then, as the fight goes, it was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Got the finish. Once again, let the fans know how I felt. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to boo me, I'll give you something to boo. You know what I mean? And so that was like, yeah, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so loud you couldn't really even hear me talk. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like on the TV, you can hear me because I'm talking in the microphone. They're picking up directly what I'm saying. But if you were like 5 feet away from me, you would have had a hard time hearing what I was saying because they were booing. Like they were throwing stuff at us on the way out. It was incredible. The energy was just fucking sensational.
Yeah, man. It was funny watching the translator go back and forth, and some of it he was saying, some of it he wasn't saying. I saw a video though. It looked like you kind of made up with some of the fans there. What was it like just overall, I guess, the fight there, the experience and life in Paris for a few days?
Well, because here's what I'll say about all the fans out there. One, they're really appreciative that we're out there. Period. Like I would have people come up and they would ask for pictures. They'd be like, "I'm rooting for Say," but and I was like, I don't want to be like, delete that picture. Like, don't come acting cool and taking pictures and then tell me you're rooting for the other guy. But that's just like, and then like after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Like when the people were in the audience, they were just like crazy. They hated me. But then literally once I walked through the tunnel, you know what I'm saying? There's other French dudes that are just like, they just appreciated the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, wow, that was a great fight, great performance. Like, I'm taking pictures with people like right off the rip. You know what I mean? And so, then afterwards, seeing the fans once again, they're still fans, you know what I'm saying? Even though, they might have been rooting for Juice, they appreciated the performance and the fight that we put on, and you know what I'm saying? And then I was cool with them. So, we got to chop it up a little bit. But everyone I came face to face with in France was just really, they appreciated the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would have been different if I would have did a boring fight. You know what I'm saying? If it was a boring fight where I was just holding them the entire time, then they might have felt a little differently. But because it was such a good fight, it's hard to stay mad at me for a long period of time. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And one thing you said in Charlotte after the knockout was months and months and months of training and game planning go into it. So that 14-second knockout is bittersweet because of everything that you worked on at that point. This one, you go into the second round a bit and you told the media, hey, man, I had to give you all a show. I couldn't just end it like that. How did you feel like your game plan worked going into this? And when did the fight, I guess, switch in your opinion when you kind of took control?
Well, I had been having my wrestling's gotten a lot better, and I've been having a lot of success with my takedowns. Not just because my wrestling's gotten better, but because people have been so preoccupied with my hands. Because people are more aware of my striking, it just makes taking people down easier. And I knew that if I would have got him on the ground, then I would have choked him out in the first round. I knew if once they hit the mat, I knew it was a wrap. But he was a judo black belt, and so that was something where it's like, okay, but you hear about people being black belts all the time. So it was like, what kind of black belt are you really? You know what I mean? So I went in there, and I can confirm he is a legit judo black belt. He had very strong hips and very good defense. But the thing I felt with it though is he was defending harder than I was going for the takedown. You know what I mean? Like and so like the commentators, they weren't necessarily sure, because I was getting the better of the exchanges on the feet, but I could tell based off how hard he was defending that he was using a lot more energy to make sure I didn't get him down than I was using to get him down. So I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We can do this for a little bit. I'll fucking, wear him out, get his arms filled with blood. And then once again, now that striking has become an option, it's gonna make now that grappling has become an option, now that I've thrown that into the mix, not even having a successful shot, that's something he has to think about now. So it just makes the striking easier and opens it up a little bit because that gives them another thing to think about. So going into the second round, I knew the first round was close. So I was like, all right, let's turn it on and get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I was better. So it was like, all right, if this is how you want to go out, then this is how I'm gonna put you out. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to throw hands, then we're gonna throw hands. And it was fun. We had some good exchanges, but you can just see them wear down over time. Like I was landing a couple hard shots in every exchange. You just see them slowly
Yep.
start to fade. But here we go. Everyone say hey to Miles. You know what I'm saying? You got the
Thank you.
ball. You got the ball.
Oh yeah.
He just need a little acknowledgement real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of Miles, one of my favorite things since I started following your career is how you have your kids, young ones in the gym with you, man. What is that like for you? And when did you start that? And how has that kind of grown for you through your years of this?
You just talking about the coaching the kids?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, no, that's something. You'll see a lot of guys who especially in early professional stages of their career where, they're trying to fight, they're trying to train more, you know what I'm saying? You need ways to make money at the gym. So you'll see like a lot of young professionals start teaching kids classes or start teaching classes to adults or start doing privates. So for me, that was something where when I quit my job full time and like started working part time, my coach was like, well, do you want to take over the kids class? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take over the kids class. And, I just kind of loved doing that. And it, became something I was passionate about. All right, my. All right, go ahead, go inside. I may have gone crazy, you know what I'm saying? But he but started coaching the kids, and in the process of coaching the kids, I, had some kids who were really, really, into it. And it became something fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're working with these kids, you're seeing them get better, you're going to competitions, doing well in the competitions more often than not, you know what I'm saying? And it's like some of the kids, there was definitely a time where I almost was like just not gonna teach kids class, especially when I got really involved, like really into my UFC career. But there was some kids that were like family, you know what I'm saying? Like kid Lane, I'd been coaching him since he was 5, you know what I'm saying? He's 11 now, you know what I'm saying? It's like we've done all sorts of competitions together, you know what I'm saying? We've been training for a long time, and just, you know, uh seeing the competitor that he is and like the levels that he's able to compete at, this young girl, Willow, she hasn't been trained with me since she was 3, but she's been trained since she was 3. She came to us like a couple of years ago, actually, after competing against Lane. And, Lane like wheel kicked her in the head in a competition. So, they came over and started training with us. And, last year she went and won the world championship in Greece. We're going to go to Indonesia this December to try to repeat, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just cool watching the kids grow, being able to be there for them while they compete, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think as cliched as it is, you know what I'm saying, you really learn a lot coaching, you know what I'm saying? You get more than you give, you know what I mean? So
Definitely. And kind of talking about getting into training so young for our listeners, I'm not sure if they know you started in this business at 21, man.
yeah.
And heavyweight, dropped all the way down to welterweight, man. I guess just talk about that journey. And I listened to some of your interviews with the French media, and it's pretty inspiring, dude. Not gonna lie to you.
Ah, man, I mean that's one of the coolest parts about it, you know what I'm saying, is that like it is such a relatable thing that, people can identify with. Um because like my story is a lot like, a lot of people's story, you know what I'm saying? Like even though I was bigger in high school because I played sports, I was able to stay in like relatively decent shape, you know what I mean? And then, you stop playing sports in high school, you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? You just slowly start putting on weight, you know what I'm saying? You're eating, you're not exercising. You're working now, it's very easy to, stop taking care of yourself, you know what I mean? And that's kind of where I fell into. I got really, really, really big. I got really, really, really big. And I think there was a moment for me, like I was at community college and I had to go up 2 flights of stairs. And by the time I got up the second flight of stairs, I was just so winded. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way I should be this tired from walking up 2 flights of stairs. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I need to do something about this. And you know, MMA like wasn't supposed to be how I was going to lose weight. I knew I would lose weight just doing some sort of exercise, but that was something where it was a bucket list thing. And when I had the time and the money to train, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, well, it's like if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. So, I went into the gym, you know what I'm saying, like 300 pounds, like just about threw up my very first practice. You know what I'm saying? But I loved it, you know what I'm saying? I had to go do some things before I signed up, but then once I signed up, it slowly started taking over my life, you know what I'm saying? And dropped out of school, you know what I'm saying? I went from like 300 pounds to like 240 pounds before my amateur debut. And like that wasn't from diet change at all. That's just because I was just training so much, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then the first fight didn't go great. You know what I'm saying? Went about as bad as, a first fight could go. You know what I'm saying? I got knocked out. You know what I mean? My dad, bless his heart, he drove 2 hours and had a front row seat. You know what I mean? But yeah. And so I was definitely sitting there and I was like, well, I can't stop after this. That's just terrible. Like, there's no way I can just let this journey end with
Right.
this being, you know what I'm saying, the concluding chapter. So, we went back to the grind. Now I had motivation to like actually eat well because I was like, okay, well, I want to go to light heavyweight. I knew I can make light heavyweight. I knew it was just a matter of discipline. So then, got down to light heavyweight, won the next several fights. I dropped down to middleweight after that, and I bounced around the two divisions. I had a very successful amateur career. Got to fight a lot of really good guys that have gone on to do some things. And then, eventually as a pro, once I was able to train full time, that's when 170 became a real reality. You know what I mean? Like that was something I didn't think was possible until I was able to just train full time. And my like just weight just without once again not intentionally trying to lose weight, the weight just fell off because of
Yeah, man.
being able to train more and the intensity being up and not having to split my attention between work and training. So that's how we got all the way from, 300 pounds at 21 to now being just hitting 30 and fighting at 170.
Yeah, man. And I want you to talk about some of those people you train with real quick, your team here in the city, man. Talk about those guys, some of the behind the scenes stuff that people that just see you fight in Paris don't know.
Well, you know, home team is great. I have a lot of love and support in the whole Charlotte area. So, there's a lot of people who got to start first and foremost with my home team, my home gym, the MMA gym, Carolina Combat Sports. That's ran by my head coach, Tom Ziegler. That's been like, he was my first MMA coach. Like, there's different coaches that teach different classes, generally speaking, at gyms. And just with my schedule, it happened to be that the time I could take classes were his classes. So, I took classes and, we developed a really good relationship. I'm saying we were both really ambitious. And so, it just linked up. Eventually he started his own gym. I went over there with him. And we have a great team over there with, a couple guys right on the cusp of, being in the UFC as well. Shamik Harvey is, I don't know if he's 10-2 or 9-2, but he just won a regional pro title, and he's really knocking on the door. I think if he fought at a heavier weight class, he'd already have an opportunity to fight in the UFC. We have Jonathan Martin. He is 6-2 right now. He's about to fight for his third pro title, October 19th. He's my main training partner. Dude's been training since he was a child. He is exceptional technically and physically. So he's someone that, you got to keep an eye on. I'm sure, he has big things in his future. He definitely has the ability to. So it's just a matter of when he gets the opportunity. Josh Motsinger, he just fought.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh and John. Josh
Yeah,
and
man. Yeah, man.
yeah, Josh and John. We gotta run that back soon. But I digress. Josh he just went 3-0, got a big win in a promotion that's on UFC Fight Pass, a feeder organization to the UFC called Fury. So he beat another undefeated kid, so that was good. And just among, a lot of amateurs, what I'm saying? Great team. I love them, what I'm saying? Love where we're heading, what I'm saying? Excited to see where we're at in a couple of years. But then, on top of that, I do boxing privates at Dime with Coach James Presley. Man's a mastermind. I get work in with the crew at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu. What I'm saying? John Piper, he is an exceptional grappling mind. What I'm saying? I'm very fortunate to, be able to draw from the way he approaches grappling is incredible. You know what I mean? Then Velocity Sports Performance. There's a lot of Panthers and Bobcats that train over there. Like you'll see Kemba Walker, Chris Weidman. You know what I mean? Orlando Brown. A lot of really good top level athletes that train over there. I work with. It's owned by Jed. I work with Dan Dandy. You know what I'm saying? He's a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? It's like us. So like our sessions are crazy. But it's like you can really see the difference in my body, you know what I'm saying, since we've been working together. And then my big bro Keith Richardson, he has a successful gym over in the Rock Hill area. Got a lot of really good young guys coming up. He's always been like a big brother and a mentor to me. So I've been blessed with a lot of really good resources in the area. You know what I'm saying? I think Charlotte's really slept on
Yeah.
the combat sports side of things and how much quality we have here. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to look for it.
Oh yeah. And then it was cool, man, getting to go out with y'all after UFC in Charlotte, meet a lot of those guys. I'll tell you, man, that's the safest I've ever felt in a section. I won't lie to you.
Yeah. Well, part of it was just because of the very lopsided numbers we had going on in there. We definitely
Hey
didn't
man.
have that planned out perfectly, but it's okay. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Oh yeah. So just for the listener, man, like I said, I got to know you and some of your guys, but what is the come down like after a big win, especially coming back across the pond, getting home?
um, Normally the come down is a little bit harder. Doing the plane ride back, that's a pretty good cool down. You know what I'm saying? As that time you're just sitting on the plane, you're just like fucking diffusing from everything. Um the come down is definitely, especially like you said, you're on one of these big cards with like, a bunch of people in attendance, people asking for your picture like all week. And, for me, I definitely did go to like a little bit of a different place mentally. But it's cool. I say I look forward to when I can like get back home and like be around my kids and be a normal person again. You know what I'm saying? So it normally takes a couple of days, but nothing too crazy.
Absolutely, man. One of the last questions I got, man. You said whoever wants it, 1 through 15 can get it, man. What's next for you? What's on your mind as far as getting back in the ring?
Well, I think this was a massive breakout performance for me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Not just the performance, but everything around the performance, everything that happened afterwards. Um, and like that's kind of my thing is like, I mean, I've gotten so much attention for this, and nobody knew who Kevin Jusay was going into this fight. Like even after the fight, it's like, who did Bryan fight? He fought a French dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he fought Kevin Jusay. It's like he fought a French dude. You know what I mean? So, for me, the opponent doesn't really matter as much. It's like if you just give me somebody to fight, and I'll go out there and I'll put on the performance, and
Yeah,
the fan hype will do its job itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, getting these guys in the rankings when you're not ranked is like really, really hard. So, I think what's more important than a ranking, what's more important than number is public opinion. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
definitely.
fighting guy in the ranking will definitely affect public opinion, but also just whooping people over and over and over again affects public opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's people that nobody knows of, you know what I'm saying? If you just keep on going out there and beating people's ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, the people will demand for you to fight bigger and bigger names. You know what I'm saying? Sean O'Malley went from fighting people not in the rankings to fighting the number one contender. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean
Yep.
Strickland, he went from just fighting anybody, you know what I'm saying, to fighting for the title. So I think it's more about activity and performances than it is about anyone in particular. So that's why I'm like, anyone can get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel good fighting anybody. So I'm not looking at anyone, I'm looking at everyone. So, you
Yeah,
know,
man. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Just got run through a motherfucking face
you
over
feel
and over. And hey, man, you talked your talk. It was good, man. People know who you are, and it's fun to watch, dude. I gotta say. And coming from Charlotte, coming from the floor, makes it even better.
No, man, it is very sweet, still being here, still representing the city, and the love the city gives back is awesome. So, you know, it's like I feel like it's not just me doing this, you know what I'm saying? It's all of us collectively doing it together, you know what I'm saying? I'm just the vehicle that we're doing it through. So yeah, I love it. Throw the fours up. I mean,
Yes, sir. Since I met you, man, you done went through some nicknames. We got the King of Charlotte, we had Pooh Bear, we got the Butcher now. Is that what you're sticking with?
yeah. Well, I'm still the king of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm still. That's still.
yeah.
I'm the king of Charlotte. I'm the king of the Apex. I'm the king of France. You know what I'm saying? But the Butcher is my ring name. You know what I'm saying? Those are just crowns I'm collecting on my war path through the UFC welterweight division.
Absolutely, man. Well, Bryan the Butcher Battle, I appreciate you, bro. We definitely got to get up soon, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me again, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we'll keep on having big performances and the news keeps on wanting to hear about me. You know what I mean?